Zion Williamson just suffered a tragic injury in his most recent game, but a recent update has just showed that this may destroy the entire season for the Pelicans unless he makes a comeback. So watch this entire video to find out how long he's out for and if the Pelicans will be able to recover. Now, of course, the Pelicans as a whole have been dealing with OD injuries during the entire season, and it's kind of tough because you guys know if you're dealing with injuries and you have guys out, your stars are not playing. Brandon Ingram has been going through injuries. It's tough, bro, because one, the guys who are supposed to be, you know, the stars of the team and all that are not even able to really go out there and drop their 20-30 points because they're dealing with such injuries. And then you kind of got to bring people off the bench that who knows if they're really going to be able to hold it down like that. But odds are just not as talented and as effective as the people who would have really been there in the first place playing. Now, the Pelicans' record overall is 24-16, which I'm not going to lie and say it's a horrible record, but they definitely have been dealing with injuries and other things on their team that's really, in my opinion, just kind of holding them back, bro. Now, I'm gonna be honest when I say this, you know, with any type of injury also, it's tough because you don't want to come back too early, go and try to play in a game, and then all of a sudden you're already back on the side of the court. It's one of those things, and even when I've dealt with injury as well, it's like you have to wait, see what happens, really evaluate, maybe even try to do some skill training or development to try to work on whatever you injured to make sure you're 100% healthy or even 110% healthy when you come back, because it's just going to add even more time to this overall injury if you just go out there and play too early. Now, the Pelicans were hooping against the 76ers. They ended up taking another L, 122-111. And in this case, man, unfortunately, Zion did get hurt. Now, this is OD because you guys know even Zion's past as well. Bro is carrying a lot of weight to him. And you know when you got a lot of weight to you, bro, what's going to happen? You are more likely to get a ton of injuries out there. And that's what was happening to Zion in the past, especially even how he was jumping and coming down off of dunks and off of getting rebounds. It was scary. A lot of people were predicting injury, and that's mainly why they put that weight clause in his contract, saying that he had to lose a certain amount of weight before he was even able to step back on the court, because they were trying to avoid these types of situations. Now, it's even crazier because Zion is averaging 26 points a game, around 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Man, those are OD solid numbers. Bro is only 22 years old, and we all know at his height, I believe bro is about 6'6". He's probably 200-300 pounds now. Yo, Zion even being able to put up those numbers just help teams so dramatically. And he's one of those guys, bro, how are you going to even guard him? If he's weighing 200-300 pounds, bro, he goes to dunk the ball. What are you going to do? You're not going to block that, bro. Just weighs too much. He's playing football out there on the court. There's really not much you're going to do. And that's why I think this is really going to hurt for the Pelicans, for bro being out and suffering from this injury. So guys, if you do enjoy the type of content that I put out and you love these sorts of updates, man, join the community, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the squad. We're trying to hit 15,000 subscribers. That's it, 15K in the next 24 hours. So help me out, subscribe to the channel, join the community, and let's get it. Now, it's even crazier. Zion has low-key been chilling during this season. He only has missed around 7 or 8 games, which, bro, I'm not gonna lie, that's not bad at all. If you only miss 7 or 8 out of 37 games, that is pretty good for NBA players nowadays because, man, you know how the load management goes and all this. They don't even like to play anymore. So the fact that Zion is getting his reps in, and he's young, I understand. He doesn't need to take as much rest and all that, but he's still getting it done and playing in the games like he's supposed to. Yo, and low-key, that's something I never understood. Like, if people are coming to pay to watch people play and then you're on load management, so they pay bread for a ticket, bro, I'm gonna be tight if I pay, you know, 100, 200, 300, however much NBA tickets are. I get a ticket, I'm trying to watch LeBron, and then he's on load management. And that's why somebody I respect OD is Kobe, because Kobe always said he would play through these injuries because people would, you know, people would spend their hard-earned money to go and watch him play. So I gotta respect it. And bro, when we talk about injury too, like, we also have to remember Brandon Ingram is over there too. Yo, why that just remind me of Andre Ingram on the Lakers, the old head. But anyway, Brandon Ingram is out there too, and he had that toe injury, it looks like in November. And you guys know you got 2 stars basically on the side now. I mean, they got some other guys, but again, these are 2 really big pieces of the team. So in my opinion, bro, it's just like they gotta work on getting these guys healthy, man. And hopefully they can, you know, do some type of stuff on the side to really prevent these injuries, because it's part of the game. But man, the way the Pelicans are getting injury, man, somebody's doing something. Maybe they're not doing the right stretches, or something in the food. I don't know what it is. Too much gumbo over there. I don't know, but they gotta fix this up. I'm not gonna lie. Now, you know, I don't believe any type of NBA news if it really doesn't come from Woj or Shams or any of these guys. But I peeped that Adrian Wojnarowski put out a tweet basically saying that Zion is gonna miss multiple weeks due to that hamstring injury, and he had an MRI. Now with this, in fact, bro, it's kind of weird, because when you say multiple weeks, it's like, what does that really mean, right? Because if you look at the tweet, it's kind of like, we really don't know how long he's going to be out for. Now, he's going to be evaluated after those couple of weeks, but how long is he going to be after that? They have to evaluate to peep if he's actually even ready to get back on the court and play, or is he going to have to be out for more time? And just kind of knowing, you know, how long these trainers and, you know, the staff really like to keep players out. Man, it's going to be longer than necessary to make sure that he's probably, once he's 100% healthy, he can actually come back. But in my opinion, bro is going to be out for a minute. And the Pelicans, man, they got to work with what they have. But it's not going to be pretty out there. I'm not going to lie. What's crazy and even came to my head about Zion and the injury that he's dealing with now, since this one is a hamstring. Yo, do you guys remember what bro did in college when he almost got injured and broke through that entire Nike shoe? Like, I'm not gonna lie, when bro did that, Nike must have lost bread from that, because there's no way, if you're a company that's putting out performance sneakers and stuff like that, and then someone rips apart your whole shoe. And we know Zion is bro, I'm not gonna lie, Zion is just built different. So if he rips a shoe, it's a little different than, you know, somebody pulling up to the Y and hooping and ripping a shoe. But still, like, you know, if Zion is ripping through a shoe, man, Nike probably lost bread that day. Probably lost billions of dollars, if I remember correctly, because they're a performance company. They got to put out sneakers for hoopers. And when someone's ripping through them, it's just not a good look. And even Zion could have had an even worse injury back then. Bro, if you're tearing through something like that once you make a move, I'm wondering how well the sneakers are even made nowadays. And bro, just Zion overall, he's just built different, bro, because I don't think that's ever happened when someone is playing that they just rip through the entire sneaker. Now, people, the comment that someone was even saying this may sound a bit out there, but what helps Zion is yoga. It will give him greater flexibility, movement, and range. It will prevent him from experiencing these types of injuries. It's something all athletes can benefit from. Now, low-key, bro, she has a point, and this comment right here has a ton of likes, but I mean, you think about it, if someone is, you know, has a lot of weight to them and they're injury prone, bro, probably something like yoga and really just tapping in, getting some professional, you know, yoga in there probably will help Zion out a lot. And she's right, you know, if you're more mobile, more flexible, it's just going to be able to help you prevent a lot of injuries. And man, with Zion's track record, he needs all the help he can get from yoga, from dieting, man, everything, because he's such a physical specimen. You know, he's one of these guys that's probably, I don't know if we'll call him a necessarily, basically, I'm not gonna lie, bro is a once in a generation type of talent in terms of just athletic ability and just overall how he can move. 200-300 pounds, is dunking the ball like crazy. You just don't see that too often nowadays. So Zion, go tap in with some yoga, because I think it's gonna help you, bro. If you love NBA updates and videos, you will love this update on Dwayne Wade's son, Zaire Wade. But I'm gonna be honest when I say this, things are looking terrible. So click this video on the screen now to find out why.